Hi everyone. So I am here to get started with a new Stamperia project from one of the collections that I showed you in that haul video a little while ago. And I will have already shown you the walkthrough. So this is Passion. It's a design project for Scrap and Create. And we are using the collection called Passion from Stamperia. I've got white cardstock as well, and I've got the 12 by 12. I have two of the 12 by 12. I have two of the 8 by 8, and I have the collection pad, which I showed you in the walkthrough. So let's go ahead and get started. This again is all from Scrap and Create. I'll have a link down below. And let me show you what you need for page 1. I don't have everything. I'm kind of winging it a little bit for page 1. Page 2 I know more, so we may actually do page 2 first. No, we'll do page 1. Let me set these aside. That's page 2. Okay, page 1. So all of our page bases are 8 by 8. There is a cutting guide link down below. You can go ahead and get that and make your base pages. If you don't know how to make your base pages, I will try to remember to link, but I have a video in my construction basics playlist for how to make pocket pages. All right, so for this page, you're going to need one base. I am going to mat it with this piece here. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use this side or this side. I'm leaning towards this side. Most of it's not actually going to show. You're going to need an envelope, and I used my envelope punch board to make it using the 9.5 inch square. So let me show you how to do that. So I am using this piece from the 12 by 12. And you, well, just follow the directions on the envelope punch board. But if you don't have an envelope punch board, what you want to do is put your stroke line, put your square down, measure 4 3/4 inches across and make a mark, and 4 3/4 inches down and make a mark, and join them with a pencil line or score something. You need to score between those two lines. Okay, so maybe just put a dot and then lay it in your scoreboard and score. And then you want to do 4 3/4 from this corner over and 4 3/4 from this corner and join them and just repeat around. So they will cross a little bit here, and then just cut out a little triangle where they cross. Okay? And that will give you your envelope. Okay? And we're kind of going for a shabby look a little bit. So I did it using the pattern paper. If it cracks or gets a little bit worn on the edges, I'm fine with that. So you'll need that. This is actually a plain white envelope that I made. If you prefer to mat yours, you could do the same, but we won't be needing that because I'm going to use that one. And then we need a pocket that is 6 1/8 by 7 1/8. Okay. And I haven't picked out the mat yet for that. Have I? Oh, yes, I have. Hang on. What did I do with it? Here it is. Her. Okay. So before we can attach our envelope, and I want to say I got the idea from this on Instagram, and I hope I wrote her name down. Hang on. I saw the prettiest album. Please tell me I wrote her name down. Hang on. Yulia Kuznetsova. She did a beautiful album. And she did so much embellishing on the inside, and I loved it. And so I'm kind of inspired by her on this one. And she did a page similar to what I'm doing here. Okay, so I need to trim this mat down because this mat has to go down first. And so I just need to take this down just a tiny little bit. just worried that this trimmer is going to be a problem, but we'll see. I'm trimming the, oh, I almost cut that in the wrong place. 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. I'm doing it by taking a 1/16 of an inch off each side because I want the design centered. Okay. And hang on, which side have I not trimmed? This side, right? Okay, let's see, how is that? Okay, that's going to be fine. Yeah, that's going to be fine. Okay. And let me get some ink. So we're definitely going to ink this one. I didn't get a terribly clean cut there. And we are probably, I haven't decided. I am leaning towards inking the base, which I don't usually do, but I'm not sure we want to stick with a crisp white. Can always go back and add if we want. We'll see. Before I do that, I need to make sure I have a baby wipe. Slide that over. Okay. Just checking this for fit because it's big and it's hard for me to see, you know, the whole thing. I need my glue. It's on the other side of the room. And this is just art glitter glue. Whoa. I really love these bottles that I've been using with my glue, but they're soft, you know, to make them easy to squeeze because they're for icing. But that means every now and then I squeeze it too hard and I shoot out more glue than I really want. Like that. Okay. And let me just make sure that I've got the opening. Yeah. Because there is text on this, so at this, I just need to make sure that the text is going this way. Oops, that's not very straight. Fortunately, I put so much glue on it that I have a little play. It's still not as straight as I would like, but that's gonna be it. Okay, so probably an awkward edit right there. So I would love very much to tell you that I recorded putting this page together and I forgot to hit record, but that would be a lie. I did record putting this page together. However, I made such a hash of it that I had to redo it. Or at least I had to take it apart and put it back together again. I don't know what I was thinking. I was very tired and I just did not, I don't know. I did not put it together properly. Let's just put it that way. And it was terrible. So I'm going to have to walk you through how to do this, but it's actually quite easy. So what we have is a flap. And really, this is so ridiculous. It's a flap and a pocket, which we've done hundreds of times. Let me just move that, it's just a piece of trim. But somehow I totally messed it up. So let me tell you how to go about it. All right, so in your cutting guide, you will find the measurements for the pocket, which, what did I do with my ruler? Okay, which I'm gonna suggest that you double check before you cut, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it was 7 1/8, no, yeah, 7 1/8 by 6 1/8. And put the 7 1/8 inch side along the top of your scoreboard and score it a 1/2 inch, and then score one of the other sides at a 1/2 inch and make a pocket. And you probably know how to do that. If you don't, keep watching because the next page has a pocket and you'll see how to do it. But you're going to take that pocket and you're going to center it on the page and open to your right. Okay? The base of the page is an 8 by 8, which I think I already told you that. All right, so it's an 8 by 8 pocket page. You'll need 4 for the book. I'm pretty sure I already told you that part. Out of white cardstock. And let me see. I'm looking to see if I have that page handy, but I might not because I might have already cut it for something else. I'm not sure. Hang on. No, it's this one. Okay. So I use the 8 by 8 of this page to mat this, and then I put the pocket on top. Okay? And let me think. Okay. So that's where we're at. So you're going to have a plain white pocket on top of this mat. Here, let me pull this out, try to make it a little easier to see. Okay, then you're going to, using your envelope punch board, if you have one, you're going to make an envelope out of pattern paper. Okay, that's this one. And for that, you are going to need a square, and I'm pretty sure I have it marked, yeah, 9.5 by 9.5. Okay, let me show you what to do with this. And you're making it, I made this white, which you probably can't see on this board, but I made it out of white because I didn't want to waste another piece of pattern paper. So let me tell you what to do. Measure from the corner, the top left corner, across 4 3/4 inches. And from that same corner down 4 3/4 inches. And you're going to score between those two lines. Okay? Then you're going to go to the top right corner, measure 4 3/4 inches over, 4 3/4 inches down, and score between those lines. And then repeat for the other corners, and you will end up with this, okay? And they'll crisscross here, and you can trim that out, right? So that is going to give you an envelope. Fold your sides in, and then you'll leave one for the flap, okay? This is where I started going wrong. Okay. And let me remind myself, what did I wanted to tell you? Okay. All right. After you've got this together, okay, and remember it's pattern paper, so you don't have to mat it. You can go ahead and actually, hang on, the two sides go in and then the bottom, okay? And you can go ahead and glue that. Then you're going to take and place a magnet right there. Okay, right there. Okay? Doesn't matter, you need to, you're going to hide it, so it's okay. You're hiding it with a flower that's going to actually go up and over the top. So just put it right there, which is about 1/2 of an inch down from the opening there. Okay? So you're going to glue this shut, you're going to add a magnet. Then you're going to cut a piece, and again, this will be in your cutting guide, 1 inch by 6 inches. And this is actually a hair over 6, it's 6 1/8. And So cut that piece, score it down, vertically down the middle, okay? And then trim the corners the way we always trim corners, okay? We're making a gusset. You've seen me do this with envelopes, lots, okay? And then you're gonna glue it with the fold here. Let me make one, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about. Hang on. Let me grab a scrap. Okay, perfect. Got a navy scrap. You should be able to see that. Okay. And I'm not scoring it or anything. I'm just going to fold it to give you an idea. All right. So it's going to be folded. It's going to be 6 inches long. So let me trim this one. Okay. All right. So you've got it folded in half. You're of course going to do yours accurately and score it and all that stuff. Okay, this is glued. You're going to attach this with the fold right along the bottom, centered. Of course, I didn't measure mine. Yours is going to fit better. You'll have a little bit at each end, but that's on purpose. Okay, now, what I would suggest, do this envelope first, right up to this point, okay? Then, double check the measurement. It should be 6 1/8. Give or take, okay? Whatever measurement this is, you want to adjust this pocket to match it. So, you know, I have you cutting it to end up 6 1/8. It should be right, but if for whatever reason your envelope is a little different, maybe it's 6 even, then you're going to make your pocket piece 7 inches instead of 7 1/8. Add an inch to whatever height your envelope is to form your pocket, okay? Because you want it to be a perfect match. Trust me, I have. I struggled with this yesterday because I made the mistake of doing this when I was tired. Okay, so now you've got this. And by the way, this piece here, I cut out of a scrap of this same paper. Okay, and that's this piece here, okay? And then you are going to attach this here, move that little strip, so that when it folds, it lines up perfectly, top and bottom, so that you can't really see the pocket inside, okay? Now, I matted mine first and then I did this. Don't do that. Do this first, okay? I mean, it doesn't matter that much, but trust me, it'll have an easier time if you do it that way. Okay, so you're still with me, I hope. Okay, so now at this point, you have got a magnet here. Notice mine is on top of this flower because I did not plan ahead like you will, and yours will be on the base, okay? You're gonna add flowers anyway, so it's no big deal, but, okay. Then, with this flap open, you've got your magnet here. Go ahead and put, let me just grab a scrap, like we always do. Put a matching magnet there, and some adhesive on it. Flip it over, whoops, it's there. Okay, and press it down, and it'll adhere to the base, just like we've done a million times before. Okay, and then you can put some tape on it and go ahead and mat this piece with this design paper here. Okay, so at this point you will have caught up to where I'm at. And then what I did is I took the collectibles that we have, that we're working with. I showed it in the haul, and I've already cut a lot of it up, but let me grab it. And I'll be using quite a few of these, so if you want yours to look like mine, definitely get this. This is the Passion Collectibles, which is basically cut-aparts, okay? But they're two-sided, which is awesome. All right, so I need to re-glue this. I actually unglued it, so I'll do that. And then I put this flower on top of my magnet, if I had done it correctly. So I'm just gonna add a second one on top to hide that. Okay, and then close your flap and add a magnet to the outside of this flap so that it'll hold that flap closed. And then I'm going to cover that with another rose that sort of sticks down over, like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and re-glue my pocket and then add those flowers. And all these flowers are from that Collectibles. Okay. Got a little leaf down there. Oh, if you could have seen me trying to fix the mess that I made of this page. And actually, no, you couldn't. I didn't record it. I was going to say I could show you, but I actually did not record that because I had no idea how or if I was going to be able to fix it. But I really, really didn't want to have to remake it because I didn't want to use up the paper. Okay, there's that. That's fine. Okay, and then I have this little piece. Oops, I think I need a little more glue right there. And as you all know, I generally leave my the back of my tape, but in this case I'm going to take it off. And that is going to go right there, and I think I want to add, this is going to go under there. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And it's okay if the leaf sticks up a little, isn't fully glued down, that's fine. A little dimension is not a problem. Oh, I probably should have inked that. Okay, let me grab my ink. Leaf. And these are reversible cut aparts, which is really cool. Most of them, there's a few that aren't, but this one is. And alright, so I think I want that right about there. Like that. Okay, we are going to embellish this book a lot. Okay, so there's that. This, as you can see, I've got washi taped down. And you know, I forgot this washi tape is super sticky. I hope it doesn't damage when I pull it off. That would be just my luck. Okay, and then this one I'm going to put right about there, and it's sticking down off the edge. So let me lift this up. And you can see because they're double-sided, it's okay. And let me ink this. And I got 2 new boards to work on. And I am particularly loving this glass one. I've been wanting a glass one for a long time, and then one of my friends recommended this one in one of the Facebook groups, I think. I can't remember now. But anyway, so I ordered it, and if you saw I think it was my Christmas videos, you probably saw me whining about the fact that it got lost, and just fiddling with that in the shipping, but they found it and they did deliver it, thank goodness. And so after I got it, I reached out to the place where I bought it, which I've got to double check the name. I think it's glassboards.com. Hang on, I'll find out. Okay, it's Glassboard Studio, and I will link it down below. And anyway, after I got it, I reached out to them to let them know I had received it and that I loved it, because I do. And they very kindly offered a discount code for you guys if you want one. Which, if you do want one, that would be handy, because I'll tell you, it was not cheap. It's worth it. It's beautiful. But it was definitely, you know, a bit of an investment. And they did not give it to me. I paid for it, bought it myself. But since they've kindly offered a discount, it's 20%, I will give you the coupon code either on the screen right here or down below, or both. Anyway, if you want one. Okay, now hopefully I had the good sense to, yes, to de-stick this. All right, so what this is you can see here's another piece of it. This was along the top of one of the pages in here. So I've cut it out and I fussy cut it. And I am going to ink it. Do need to ink both sides of the top, especially the bottom, not so much, but the top. This is a little shorter than the envelope, so I'm just going to center it. Right. I'm just turning this over to make it a little easier, and what I want to do is glue it here so that it's sticking off the edge. Okay, and then I just want to double check. I had that taped because I was paranoid that I wasn't going to be able to open the envelope, because that's the way this project's been going for me. You can see I have a little stack of flowers over here, because we're going to be using quite a few. And I think I have some more going to be coming from Scrap and Create. Okay, and then you can decide yourself how much you want it to, whoops. Told you I was going to center it and then I didn't. Okay, there we go. How much of it you want to stick out, how much you don't. There we go. And we may come back later and add some more flowers along the edges here. And depending how many flowers I have left, I cut an insert for this pocket. I'm probably going to have some flowers even sticking out on the insert. Okay, so there's that so far, okay? All right, so now, this is one of the cut-aparts from the 12 by 12. Let me ink that. Don't need that right now. Going to go about there. Okay, this is one of these. Okay, so I have cut that out, put a little piece of chipboard on the back just to give it a little height, and inked it. This is also one of these, and let me tell you what I did to this. Okay, yeah, we'll get back to that. While I have my ink out, I want to ink this as well, and then I'll tell you about that. And this is also from the Collectibles, this little bouquet. It's fussy cut, just be a little careful with the edges. And part of it is going to overhang. I'm not sure if it's going to show or not. I haven't decided, so I am just going to make sure I ink both sides of at least the flower part. I know the stems aren't going to overhang. Okay, so there's that. And then I've got 3 little flowers. You can use whatever you've got. And I'm trying to remember. These came out of my stash. Anything that I have that I know for sure where it was, what it was, and who made it, I'll let you know. But most of them are just in my stash. But I know that Julie from Scrap and Cray is going to send me some, so those I'll be able to tell you. Okay, so this little card, it was already torn like that. That's the way it was on the sheet that I fussy cut. And then the part I fussy cut out, I wasn't neat about it. I wanted it a little rough. Then I took and used the edge of my cutter bees, just like that, along the edge to rough it up. Then I inked it. Then I took the tail end of a paintbrush, but you could use any little round item, and just curled up these two diagonal corners, just to give us kind of a shabby look. Okay, so what we're gonna have, we're gonna have this right about here, and that right about there. Okay, and then this is gonna go on top and hang over a little bit like that. And then this is gonna go right about there. And I'm gonna put it at an angle. Okay. All right, so, and then we're gonna add some flowers. The first thing I'm gonna do is put this down, and I am only going to glue, I'm gonna leave the top unglued, so it's like a pocket. Don't know if we're gonna add anything to that pocket or not, but I want the option. Okay. All right, I'm kind of centering it top to bottom. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, and then I'm gonna put that right about there, I think. Looks good. So I wanna make sure I don't put any glue in this area. I'm just gonna hold it with my fingers to remind me not to put any glue there. And you can see these are double-sided, which is awesome. I love these. I hope they do them for every collection. Okay, so that is gonna go right about there. Okay. Whoa, there was tape on that. That is honestly, this project is gonna be the death of me. Oh, look, I have the package. Okay, these definitely were from Scrap and Cray. These are Petaloo. That's where this one came from, and maybe that one as well. Not sure, but like I said, once I get the additional ones that are going to be on the way to me, I will try to include them in the list of supplies. Okay, so then this one is going to go here. We are not going to put any glue in the corners that are lifted because we want them to lift. Okay. Alright, so that's going to go there, like that. And then this, I'm going to put in an angle like that. Okay, that's good. And then we have our flowers. And I'm kind of matching them up. There's a lighter one here. I'm going to put this lighter one right on top of it, and this darker one just there, and then this lighter one right there. I keep forgetting the okay. This glue bottle, which I love, is very soft to make it easy to dispense. It's actually for icing, cake icing, but and I keep forgetting that it's not like the old bottle that I was using, the one the glue came in. You do not need to squeeze it real hard, otherwise you get a huge dollop of glue. I love it though. Okay, I'm just gonna press down. I'll let those set. If I have to come back and add a little more glue underneath, that'll be fine. Oh, that is really cute. I like that a lot. And I'm looking, I don't think I have anything that'll fit in that pocket. Well, that would, just barely. Okay. Awesome. Okay. And of course, now I have to do the other side. Probably should have left those off until then, huh? Let me see. Yeah, I can open it like that while we do the other side. Okay. Now, this side, what do I do with the pieces? I had the pieces out for it. They're there. Okay. All right, so again, you'll find this in the cutting guide. But we have a pocket that is 9 by 3 3/4. Okay, and then I have this piece that I'm going to use for the mat. Okay, and then I have, this is going to be the lining. And then I also want a piece of seam binding because we're going to tie it. Even though there's no flap or anything, we're just going to tie it for looks because we're going really frou-frou on this one. Okay, grab. Let's set that aside for a moment. And I need to score this. I'm looking for my scoring tool. I was not very organized when I sat down tonight. There it is. Okay. And I should get out my large scoreboard, but I'm not. Okay, so I'm going to score one long side at 1/2 inch. And the 2 short sides. And this is how you do a pocket. So if you're not sure how to do the pocket for the other side, you're just going to score it, as I mentioned just a minute ago. Okay, and then I think I'll tape it. Grab my tape. Okay. This is 3/8 inch score tape, which is what I typically use. And that is a little far over. Okay. My goodness, what on earth? Okay. Going to burnish down the tape. Okay, and then cut the corners. So that's the upper corners, and this is only in the little tabs. Don't go past the score mark. we're going to fold and burnish. And one thing that I am particularly liking about this glass mat is that I'm getting a really, really crisp score on the harder surface. Now I also did get a new self-healing mat that is black instead of the green that I had been working with. So on occasions when I want to use that, it won't be quite so unattractive. Okay, do that. Okay, there's that. That's the pocket. And honestly, I had a piece of tape over there that got stuck on it. Move that. Okay, this is going to be the mat. And I cut it a little bit big. And I thought about cutting this upper edge. Maybe we'll do that. I think I will. And it's a hair long, which I'm not opposed to since we're going to cut that upper edge. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink, even though very little of this is going to show. Okay, I'm going to ink that. You could actually do this first if you wanted, before you fold it in the sides. Just wondering. I think I'm going to take just a hair off, not very much at all. That's better. Okay. All right. Now, be careful when you're gluing this down because it's taller than the pocket. All right, so don't put any glue in the very, very top of the mat. Sure I'm not putting it on upside down. Okay. Now on the base of the page, we're going to attach our seam binding underneath the mat. But on the pocket, I'm going to put it underneath the actual pocket. I prefer not to put it under the mat if I can help it because you could rip the mat. But in this case, it's the best way. We really can't put it under the pockets. I mean, under the page. But okay, so now we're going to fussy cut. So I'm just going to angle up and just fussy cut along the edge of this lace. Open that. And down. Okay. Then fold those sides in to see if you need to trim any more. They're fine. And then, because I don't really want the edge to be super smooth because it's supposed to be lace, I'm just going to go ahead with the edge of my scissors. If you have a distressing tool, that'll work. And I'm just going to rough the edge up a little bit. Not a lot, but just enough to get that crisp, freshly cut look. off. Okay. I like to do this before I ink, but you can do it after if you prefer. And now I'm going to ink that edge. Okay. All right. Now let's get our page. All right, so that's there, and we're going to open it and turn it over. The pocket is going to go down here. Probably ought to have checked it for fit before I did all that work. It's actually a hair big, but not too much. It's fine. Okay, so we need to put our seam binding under that. So I'll grab that. And I'm just going to leave it long for now. That's way longer than I need, but and what I want to do is center it here. This is an 8-inch pocket. So I want to center this at 4 inches, which I'm going to mark right there. And what I'm going to do is peel the tape back on here on the bottom, past that point. Straighten that edge out. And I'm going to center that right there. I feel like it's maybe not as straight as it might have been, but it's okay. Okay, and now what we have to do, because now that that's there, it's not going to stick. So I'm just going to put a little piece of tape over it. I'm trying to be careful not to lose this piece, because I'm going to put it back. Back down like that. Okay, so there's that. Way longer than I need. All right. Now we are going to pick up the side, put it down, and put it down, and then I think what I want to do before I put this pocket down, did I do it? Yeah. Hang on, let's close that. We're going to ink the base all the way around. Since this is kind of a shabby look, we don't want it to be stark white. And I tried actually a cream paper for this instead of the white, but I didn't like the cream with the designer paper. The undertone wasn't quite right. So we went with just white. Okay, here's that. Okay. And did we already, yeah, we already inked that. Okay, I'm just checking everything is right before I move on. Once bitten, as they say. Okay. So we need to put this right here. Okay. And that is going to be fine. It's sticking out a hair, but I'm fine with that. Okay, so we just want to peel back the covering for the tape just in this corner. It's sticking out. And let's just get that one corner. And I'm gonna actually line it up over here. As it is sticking out just a little bit. Okay, here we go. And then, we've got that piece there. Okay. Oh, it's sticking out a little on the bottom, but it's okay. Not enough to bother me. Not after everything I went through with the other page. I can deal with that. Okay. And that other page is not hard. So it was strictly the fact that I was tired when I was doing it and not paying attention. Okay. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Well, not perfect, but as perfect as I'm gonna get it. Okay, I'll get these things out of the way here. Okay, so now we need to attach another piece of seam binding. And we might as well keep this open while we're at it. And that has to go here. And this one can actually go pretty far in. So I'm just going to make the mark here, where it'll be well hidden by the mat. Seam binding right there, or tape rather. And then we need another piece of seam binding, not as long as that one because I definitely overcut that. Okay. Burnish that. And let's lift that up. Go, just like that. Okay, could have put it further down. And this is going to be our mat for here. So I cut it to height, but I didn't cut it for width. So we need to cut this the same width as this one, pretty much. 7 7/8. Okay, go ahead and do that. And I grabbed some fussy cuts because I spent part of the afternoon doing some fussy cutting. So I'm going to bring those over because we're probably going to want them. And let's go ahead and ink this. Like I said, I love this glue bottle, but I'm not used to it. Make sure that your seam binding is nice and straight. That looks good. Be careful that you, because I'm working upside down, and you may be too, so be careful that you put your mat in right side up. Now, I want to tie this and get rid of some of this extra that I made this way too big. And then we'll add some decoration to it. And I want this tied and in place because we want to know where it is when we're adding any other decorations. So, what do you think we need? Let's see. I've got all these fussy cuts. Don't think we want a wreath, do we? I don't like that for you, but of course I could always cut it out. Honestly, wish I had more flowers. Of these paper flowers, I would buy 2 of those collections just to get more of them. That's pretty. Because I don't have, and I've already used quite a few of them, and I have quite a few pages yet to go. But we do have some pages that we can fussy cut flowers out of in the actual collections. And let's see what else we have too. I also have chipboards. I'm careful. This is going to be the spine. So probably I should put my decorations on this side. And remember, these are reversible, so you can turn them to face whichever way you want. And let's see, there's some flowers from the chipboards. It's kind of pretty. Let's see what else we have. Let's see, we have more of these cards. I could add one of those, except we've got that one already, although we could replace it, use one of those. So I don't want one of those. Well, that piano, that might look good. I wonder if we have a chipboard version of that. Okay, I've got the chipboards here. Let's see. I don't remember seeing the piano in this. No piano. Quite a few dancers. I don't think I want that. Blends in a lot. Right, let's move that over. I quite like that piano. Let me fussy cut that. Let's see how that looks. There's a violin, but I don't think I want that for here. I keep trying to put things to this side, but this is flat, so that's okay. All right, so let me untie this. Get a better idea. This one's not reversible, so I can't move it. And I definitely want it facing inward. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. I mean, neater. I don't have it arranged super neat, but okay. Let me get these things, the paper things that are that need to be inked. this right about there. We are going to have this underneath it, going like that, right? All right, so basically this is going to go right there. And I think I'm just going to keep it down and put some glue under it so I don't lose its place. Go. Okay, and then the piano is going to go right about there. So I don't need anything above the lid of the piano in the way of glue. About there, okay. Okay, and then we have our ticket. Was I gonna put the ticket under the piano? I feel like I was. Hang on, can I lift it up? I don't think so. Okay, but you know what, I can actually tear the ticket, so that it's not covering too much. There we go, just like that. Okay. Let's put that right about there. Right about there. I'm just bending these petals up a little bit. They're probably going to end up, when the book closes, getting smushed back down, but I just want to give them a little bit of dimension. There. This one is going to tuck underneath, right about there. I think it's actually in the glue, so I'm just going to press down. I don't think these are where I originally had them, but I'm kind of liking where they're ending up. I kind of like it where I had it, right there. That, okay. Right there, okay. And then this, come over and tie in a bow. Loosely, but that's okay. Okay, so it's going to be page 1 and page 2. And there's going to be more embellishing, but I don't want to do too much at this point until I get my order. You know, as I said, I've got more flowers coming, which I think I'm going to need. I am liking this a lot so far. Okay, I'm going to stop. This is about the point where I went off the rails last night, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. All right, so again, this is Passion from Stamperia. You can get everything you need at Scrap and Create, and I will have a supply list down below as well as a link to to the shop, and I will also have a link to the cutting guide for this project, and I will have a link and a discount code for this awesome glass mat. I don't think I mentioned, hang on, this awesome mat. You have a choice, but I chose to get a magnetic mat, and this is a separate, this didn't come with it. I ordered this from the, another place, but that way when you're lining things up, if you have two of these, and I do, you can use the lines on the board and the magnets to really help you line things up. Right now I've got them wrapped because I want to put some felt on them. Hear that? That's it hitting the stand for my camera. Okay, so anyway, I'll have all those links down below, and that's it, and I will see you next time, and we will do pages 3 and 4, or at least 3, I don't know. Some of these are taking longer than others, but that could just be because I didn't do a great job the first time. Alright, I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I certainly appreciate it. And have a great day. Bye-bye.